Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. This is not actually a podcast, it's just where I yap for a little bit, pretend I have a podcast, okay? I'm just gonna pretend that didn't take me like literally. Let's get the microphone out of the way because I feel like it's awkward. I don't know if it's even doing anything, but let's pretend that it is. But I don't like how it literally is in the way. I wanted to talk about what did I want to talk about today. I wanted to talk about we all go through hard things in life, okay? And these things tend to toughen us up, okay? Make us a little tough, a little rough around the edges, you know? And the stronger you handle it, aka the less emotions you show and like the more quickly you bounce back, the stronger people think you are. Now I have a problem with that because here's why. I believe that sometimes your strength can be weakness. Now hear me out, okay? If you do not give yourself the time to heal and process the things that you have gone through, you are denying yourself a level of empathy. Hold on. You are denying yourself the comfort and the empathy and the time to kind of like heal what wasn't broken by you, okay? If you're able to bounce back really quickly and that is truly your path and your story, then that is great. This video might not be for you. But if you are someone who pushes your emotions down and pushes them away and doesn't like to face the things that you have gone through, there will come a point where you are not properly healed and you have not given yourself that time to mourn what was lost. Maybe it was a version of you, maybe it was something that was taken from you, whether like physically or like emotionally, or even your time and your energy. You need to mourn what was lost, okay? And if you don't give yourself the time to heal and to mourn and to properly feel whatever it is that you needed to feel, imagine it like a cup of water, right? AKA the negative experience. You have not given yourself time to heal. You have not given yourself time to empty your cup, okay? Your cup is full. It's full to the brim, okay? Now, one small little minor inconvenience, it will cause you to spill. It will cause, even a single drop of water will cause your cup to spill. And you might think, why am I so volatile? Why am I so like emotional at everything? Like, this was such a small thing. Why is it pushing me over the edge this way? It's because your cup is already full. The overflowing could be you crying. It could be you acting out, like being self-destructive. Things like that, okay? And that's because you have not given yourself the time to empty your cup. You have not given yourself time to feel whatever it is that you need to feel. And in my opinion, I do not think that is strength. The quicker you move on, and I'm not talking about someone who is able to move on quickly. I'm talking about someone who pushes their emotions down and gets through it and bounces back super quickly. It never happened, or that didn't happen to me, or like, you know, that kind of like denial. And you know, it is really hard to tell once you are fully healed, because I go through phases where I'm like, I'm healed and I'm fine and like I'm so good and and then like it comes crashing down, and then the lows are so low and the highs are so high. There needs to be like a level of balance where you can't think that you are untouchable and that like nothing bad has ever happened to you or will ever happen to you, because that is simply not the case. And having this level of extreme optimism will lead to a crash, you know, and you will crash emotionally, physically, whatever it is, you will crash. And another aspect of it is that if you do not give yourself and allow yourself that empathy, you will not have empathy for anyone else. So like, if you sweep your feelings under the rugs, you will not understand what other people feel. If you have gone, like, let's say a friend experiences something similar to what you've experienced, and you just cannot provide the support that they need. Even if you try to, even if you don't sweep their feelings under the rug, even if you try to empathize, you will not be able to, because you have not given yourself that empathy. You have not allowed yourself to feel whatever it is that you needed to feel, and you have not validated your own feelings. So how can you validate anyone else's? You know what I mean? Like, how can you provide support to other people that you have not yet provided to yourself? You will not be able to provide support to the people that you love in the way that you maybe could if you don't have empathy for yourself. Because realistically, and like as cliche as it sounds, how can you love anyone else if you don't love yourself? So how can you be that for anyone else if you do not allow yourself and give yourself that empathy? Some people can't handle things, some people can. Some people can handle a lot of things and lots of hardships, but it doesn't mean they're okay. They still are not okay. That strength can sometimes be weakness, and that your weakness could be that you don't necessarily empathize with people. You might want to, you might think you do, and you might empathize with people, yeah, but it won't be in the way that, like, emotional people who feel, and people who are emotional, and people who allow themselves that space to feel, it won't be the same as the type of empathy and support that they can provide. Let me know what you guys think, because this is something that I've been told a lot. Like, whenever I trauma dump, which I do a lot, whenever I, like, give a bit of my lore, people are like, you are so strong, you are so strong, how are you? But I don't feel that way. I don't feel strong, you know? I feel like that strength is kind of my weakness. Sometimes I don't allow myself to feel as deeply as I'd like, and sometimes I deny myself these feelings because I think it's too emotional, or I think it makes me weak. And true weakness is being emotionally unavailable and having no emotional intelligence. And now I'm not talking about letting your sadness consume you, because that's obviously not a solution either. Like, yes, move on, heal, but give yourself the time to understand what you are healing from, because you cannot heal from a sadness that you have not let yourself feel. You know what I mean? Like, how can you heal from something you have not felt? You're going to maybe use the wrong methods. You are going to not heal properly, and your wound will bleed again. You know, let's use another analogy here, okay? Let's say this wound of yours, you have not felt that pain. You don't know if it's a burn, you don't know if it's a cut, you don't know if it's a carpet burn. You don't know what it is, because you have not let yourself feel that pain, okay? You won't even look at the wound. You're like, nope, it never happened, or no, it's no big deal, I'm being dramatic, okay? You will not even let yourself look at the wound, okay? How do you know how to heal that wound and how to treat that wound? How would you know? That wound is gonna bleed. It might not heal properly. It might reopen later in life. It might start projecting onto other aspects of your life. So that's why I'm saying, if you don't let yourself validate your feelings and, like, feel what you need to feel, you may never heal properly. There will always, even if enough time passes, because time does heal, you will always have leftover trauma, leftover energy from that wound. I hope this is all making sense. I really do. And I hope my analogies are not stupid, and I hope you know what I mean. This is for the people who kind of, like, you are strong. You are strong. You are strong. Like, yes, I'm not here to invalidate that. You are strong. Whatever you have gone through, whether you have or haven't let yourself feel those feelings, you are strong. But moral of the story, the point of this video is not to call anyone weak or to critique anyone's healing process, whatever. It is to kind of like bring your attention to things that you may not have properly healed. I don't think the way anyone deals with anything should be labeled as weak or strong, because everybody deals with things differently. Everybody has different tolerances, and everyone is valid, and everyone is human, you know? To be human is to bleed and to feel, and I think that it would be very stupid to label someone as strong or weak for the way they heal or the way they process things. I don't know. You know, sometimes you just need to cry and scream and shout and let it all out. I want to scream and shout and let it all out. Yeah, sometimes you need to lay in bed and not be able to move for a little bit, you know? Sometimes you need to bed rot, but you can't let that consume you, and you do have to get up eventually, whenever that may be. Thank you guys for listening to my podcast and my yapping. I love yapping. Let me know what you guys think, because yeah, look, this might be controversial, but this is my take. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next yapping episode. Bye guys. I love you.